Hello there. Are you there? Are you there? Are you there? In your pajamas? Are you there? How are you? There you are. You're ready. Here we go. Hello there, and you're very welcome to this most unusual but brilliant event. Fair play to them for organising it. Welcome to the first ever, and I hope the last ever, Energia AIL Virtual Awards. I mean the virtual part. That's the last ever. I hope the Energia AIL Awards go on forever. We're going to have a great night. I am your host. My name is Mario Rosenstock, and I am genuinely looking forward to tonight. I haven't had a haircut in 4.5 months, as you can see. But listen, neither of you. And you can see me, I can't see you. But we're all in this together in these unprecedented times. So I hope you're all staying safe and washing your hands a million times a day and doing all that sort of stuff. Because tonight we are here to have a virtual party and a virtual award ceremony. And tonight we are going to celebrate the very best of Irish rugby. The coaches, the players, female players, male players, the support staff, and of course you, many of you out there, the fans. We're going to have contributions from some of the biggest names in Irish rugby. Some of them will be courtesy of me, like Ronan O'Gara, Rory Best, and some of them will be real, like Jordan Larmour. He's definitely going to be real. I'm looking forward to seeing Jordan tonight. But before we start, to kick off, let's have a contribution from one of Irish rugby's greatest supporters and a man who is seen at nearly every international rugby match.
Well, yes, indeed. Good evening, and welcome to Áras an Uachtaráin, where I'm delighted to be able to join you virtually for the inaugural Energia AIL Awards. Rugby, of course, is very much part of our national identity, and I think it is very important that we get to celebrate the coaches, the support staff, and of course the men and women players of Ireland, the grassroots, so to speak. I myself, of course, played rugby for many years at All-Ireland League level. I played for Galwegians in the second row. I was a line-out specialist. Yes, I know what you're thinking, but I was very, very easy to lift. Hence my nickname at Galwegians, Simba. 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 Yes. Anyway, as I was saying, oh, there's the door. Sabine, that's the food. The golden elephant. I've been hanging for a Chinese all week. Tonight's the night. Enjoy your evening. I shall be watching with great anticipation. Good night.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our first ever virtual All-Ireland League Awards ceremony. At the outset, I want to say a special thanks to Energia for putting this event together and for the resourceful and dynamic way that they've engaged in their first season as sponsor of our All-Ireland Leagues. They have brought a new energy and exposure to our AIL clubs, and we look forward to growing that awareness further with them when we get going again. It has been a challenging season for everyone, but nonetheless it is very important to recognise and celebrate the efforts of everyone involved in what was a very exciting league season. Well done to all of the players, coaches, and especially our volunteers, and enjoy the rest of the evening.
Welcome to the Energia AIL Awards, and indeed the first virtual awards. My name is Gary Rhine, and I am the Managing Director of Energia Customer Solutions. I'm delighted to be here tonight to celebrate and acknowledge some fantastic domestic rugby. We've seen some great performances this year. Corkán leading the way undefeated in 1A, and indeed in the Women's League over 340 tries with Hannah O'Connor leading the way there. So it's been fantastic to see. Obviously it's been a challenging year and disappointing that we couldn't finish the league, but look, the health and safety of players, their family and the community is obviously of the utmost importance. And indeed we see positive signs now, and we've got to remain positive in the months to come, and things are looking good, and so hopefully we'll see more rugby in the coming months. In terms of Energia, this is our first year obviously to as the title sponsor for the AIL League, and and we're absolutely delighted. We blown away, in fact, by the passion and commitment and support of everybody in the domestic league. This year we introduced the Energia AIL app and the podcast together with the club scene guys, and it's been great to see increased levels of participation and support to that as everybody clicks on a Saturday evening to watch results come through. So it's been a great success, and we hope to build on that in the year to come. Energia, we're an Irish business, and we're mad about rugby, so we're delighted to be supporting the club scene and indeed the provincial and the Irish scene. So look, we're really looking forward to the year ahead and next year's season already. So really, that's it from me. I just wanted to wish all the award winners well, and I hope everybody enjoys the evening, and we look forward to seeing everybody soon.
Thanks very much. I hope you're all enjoying your evening. We now have a special Energia AIL Insights discussion featuring some familiar faces. Enjoy.
I have an AIL winners medal, Richie. Do you have one of them?
No.
Oh, save it. Interesting. Interesting. That fact. Continue.
All right, we'll crack into it. So, lads, you're very welcome along to the Club Scene podcast. Obviously, given the pandemic, we're in a virtual state, but we're delighted to be joined by both Ger Burke-Morris-Hartree and, of course, John Fogarty and Richie Murphy. Gents, thanks a million for joining us. We'll get straight into it.
You're talking about 3,000-4,000 people at games. Just an incredible atmosphere. And when I was in school at that time, looking at that, I was only dying to get out and play in that competition. So luckily enough, I played, I think, 4 years with Greystones before moving over to Clontarf. And unfortunately for Greystones at that time, they'd moved down the leagues a bit. So trying to go and play First Division rugby was sort of a reason why I went over and played with Clontarf, Over there, Popey was the coach, Brent Pope. We had a lot of really good players in and around that side, but quite young, and obviously Clontarf had just been promoted into that First Division the year I went there. Guys like Dave Moore, Warren O'Kelly, Alan Redden, Alan Dignam, myself, Ron O'Reilly. We were all sort of getting going at that time, and the 4 seasons that I spent over there, we seemed to battle very hard just to stay in the league, but each year we just managed to do that. But a little bit like what John was saying earlier, the crack around the changing room and the crack after matches was fierce back then, and there was a great social side to it. And what I enjoyed about it was, Dublin on a Saturday night after an All-Ireland League game, a lot of the lads would end up in the same pubs coming from different teams, and it'd just be good crack, and everyone sort of kicking around together, I played against Fogs in one of my last games in 2001.
Was he coming off the back of a scrum as 7, attacking you in the back line? Or?
I don't really know. I didn't realise he was playing. There was a lot of good players in that team, and Fogs wasn't one of the names. So,
go to any of the AIL games now, or are you too busy with your role with the Irish?
I got to a few of the games there this year. Obviously Ben, he's only starting out, just turned 19 actually during the week, so he's starting out on his sort of journey. But I got to see his first game, which was down in Garryowen. You would definitely say there's definitely a different feel around the grounds in comparison to way back then, I suppose. Just not as many people obviously attending the games, but the standard of the rugby that I saw that day was really good, and he's definitely enjoying his early days as in the AIL.
Oh, you've actually said it to the boys before, and you both mentioned it. I think it's something. The All-Ireland League, albeit in my opinion, Division 1 in particular, standard is unbelievable. But I think we do have to remember what anyone that we speak about talks about. The social side of it is everything.
Yeah.
But anyone you ever talk to that played back in the heyday, they all talk about the clubhouse afterwards, the days after winning or losing big games. I just think we need to probably look a little more when we think of the Energia AIL. It's an amateur game, and the social side needs to be taken into account to facilitate that, you know.
Yeah, like the characters as well that were in the clubs, and I'm sure it's in every single club around the place. The characters, there was a Hammer in Cork. There was a guy called Pepper that would come in and tell stories, and there was invariably a few lads at the bar that would reminisce about things they did in the past and games they played. And that all led to this sense of community for me that wasn't from. I didn't go to school in Cork. I was unfortunately born in Cork, but I'm a very much a Tipperary person, and Cashel was my club. So to go from Cashel down to Cork and experience this big community of rugby and history of rugby that was in Cork Constitution was amazing. Really, probably it was a very important cog for me to get game time to show what I could do. Richie was my coach at that stage. Richie's much older than I am.
Yeah.
And, I played a game with De La Salle on my way back for fitness, you know, and you would have seen Paul O'Connell. So again, for me in my career, all the way through, it proved as an important cog.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for the rising stars for each division.
Playing for a team taking part in Energia AIL for the first time, he's been known to play at number 8, but also across the back line. The Energia AIL rising star for Division 2C is Nick Doyle from Enniscorthy. This player was a standout performer for a Galway Corinthians side that had a great season in Division 2B. The Energia AIL rising star for Division 2B is Oren Nutley.
Hi guys. I have such great memories of playing back in the AIL with Clontarf. The winner of this award tonight helped his side finish second in the league with a few fine performances from fullback. The Energia AIL Rising Star for Division 2A award goes to Michael Orr from Queen's University. Well done.
Top try scorer in his division with 11 tries and a player of the match in the Club International Series decider against Scotland 15. The Energia AIL Division 1B Rising Star, Rhine from Shannon.
This player is also nominated for Try of the Season award this evening and had a great season both for club and Ireland under-20s side. The Energia AIL Rising Star for Division 1A is Jack Crowley from Cork Constitution.
This player started every game for her team this season, as well as finishing as the top try scorer for her club. She earned herself an international call-up into our Six Nations squad and was due to make her debut against France before the coronavirus hit. Your Energia Women's AIL Rising Star of the Year award goes to Neve Jones from Malone.
Tough question.
As far as player development, from my time in Leinster, every season we'd be watching, or someone is watching, and again, as far as, and I know it's individuals, but it's been used as a vehicle for players, and certainly that's how Leo and Leinster have used it over the last number of years. From a front row point of view, Adam Coyle, for instance, the guy that was in Mary's for a year, he's now in Naas.
Yeah.
He's got a Pro 14 medal. It's something I'm incredibly proud of, that I was there when Adam came up. He was a youth player originally, played AIL, cracking bloke, and he got the opportunity to play professional rugby, and so that's still there. Royce Burke-Flynn, David Aspel, Rowan Osborne, it goes on, and Neil Cronin came through from Garryowen into Munster. So there's lots and lots of stories of lots and lots of players that have been given opportunities in pre-seasons, have gotten parts in games, and it's still creating opportunities for players to be seen and to move if they choose to, or if that's what they want, to move into the professional game. It's still seen that way in the provinces, as far as I'm aware. Certainly that was the case in Leinster, and Tony Rhine was another one from Clontarf, actually.
Yeah.
Cracking player. I mean, cracking player, cracking back row, and he competed with the best of them in Leinster, and I remember him playing against Scarlets. And
I remember on that, Richie, in relation to Tarf, I remember Joey Carberry playing for Tarf down in Greenfields a couple of years back, and we didn't know who he was, and he was the difference between the two sides, and like that, they really meant a lot for them to win in Greenfields, but still have a small bit of an aura. And a couple of years later, see him go on. I agree with you 100%. I remember Jack McGrath playing in the Mary's team that won the AIL in 2012 down in Greenfields, and a big win. I think you're 100% right on both fronts.
In terms of the memories, the first thing that comes to your mind with the All-Ireland League as a player or a spectator back in the heyday, what is it?
The dressing room. So with Connie, there was a 20s dressing room, and that's the dressing room I was in first. And to make it down to the end of the corridor into the senior dressing room, and be in a dressing room. I remember one time Ian Murray and John O'Driscoll were the two props I was playing with, and the intensity and the noise and the smell in there is something I'll never ever forget. But the two of them were getting psyched up, and one of them decided to slap Ian, I think, slapped John, and then John slapped him back, and then Ian headbutted John, and then John caught Ian and headbutted him and split him, and there was blood coming down his face. I mean, it sounds incredibly crazy and mental, but that's something that been able to get down to that dressing room and being inside that dressing room when you're getting ready to go out, and the smells, the sounds, and seeing someone headbutt someone that they care deeply about before they went out. He came out onto the pitch then, about 5 minutes later. He'd so much tape he could barely see out through his eyes. Pat the Crash was the bagman. He was pure useless. He went on to go on the lines and everything. Pat the Crash. I don't know how he got there. Anyway, hope you're well, Pat.
Yeah, I think it's all those things. Like it's the memories sort of off the pitch as well as on. I suppose on the pitch, one of the best days probably we had was a big win actually against Corkon. I'm not sure if Fogs was playing in 2001 up in Castle Avenue, but it was late in the game. We were 2 points down, and I'm pretty sure Con had a kick at goal which was missed, and we caught it in our in-goal area. And we needed to score. We kind of really needed points of some sort. So we had 1 point at that stage. We caught it behind our line, and we played out. And it looked like a couple of times that we were going to lose the ball. But long story short, we ended up getting into the opposition half around the halfway and out near on the left-hand side. And they gave Corkon gave a penalty away. And then the referee gave 10 metres against them. So it brought it into kicking range. We kicked that penalty and won that game. And that was
the best.
That was sort of a great memory for us because it obviously made us safe in the league that year, and obviously Corkon were one of the big teams. Did you win that year or no? You went on.
And they lost in the final later.
The final.
Yeah.
It's always good to beat Corkon. Anyone who's done it, anytime you beat Corkon is great.
Here the Cons are here.
Remember getting a penalty try in Temple Hill? It's always a good feeling.
One Halloween for a training session. You were late for an Alan Gaffney training session in the back pitch in Thomond Park on Halloween. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
I was the arse of the horse, more specific. We decided a lot of time in my mind to think about nothing else but having a bit of crack and play rugby. It wouldn't be happening now with 4 girls and a wife and a number of bosses. But we decided to get a pantomime horse. And we thought, myself and Donnacha O'Callaghan thought it'd be a great idea to stand in the far corner of the pitch. So as people drove in, they'd sort of be glancing and then second glancing at what appeared to be some sort of a horse, and as they got closer, it would be a pantomime horse, and that would be really funny. So that's what we did. So we stood there and waited and waited and waited. And when you're the ass of a horse, it's not easy wait for a long time, considering Donnacha O'Callaghan and his big ass was in front of my head. So that's what we did. And I think at some stage someone ran and tackled us. You know, lads just were very comfortable with each other. Spent a lot of time with each other, and it's such great memories. And that's what I've been doing the last night or two, thinking about what it was like to play in Corkon, the crack we had. I remember Packy Derham was the forwards coach, and he was awful hard on us at times, and he'd particularly be hard on me because of the Tipperary thing. So at the end of we won the AIL, and we were having a night out, and at the end of it he was singing "I Did It My Way" up on top of the bar, and it's a great memory I have of. He wanted to jump off the bar and be caught by all the players, so we were all down like this, and as he was jumping off, everyone turned into that, and we basically caught him with one collective fist. It's just a great memory we have. I took 2 of his shoes off and threw him into the River Lee, and he was left hanging on a hook in that bar that night.
All right, I'd just like to wish everybody the best of luck for today's Energia AIL Awards. It's a fantastic occasion. I know you're all having a great time and voting for the winners and the losers and the girls and the boys. And so just keep logging on and logging in your comments and using the hashtag Energia AIL Awards, and it's going to be a great night. As for myself, well, it's all over really, you know. The career ended, retired and all that, and no more lineouts for Rory Best. But you combine that with the lockdown, and I suppose it's taken its toll, so to speak. So anyway, have a great night. Enjoy yourself.
Okay, next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have the awards for the Energia AIL Player and Coach of the Year Award.
Next is the big award for Men's Player of the Year. This player finished the campaign as a joint top try scorer in Division 1A this season, as part of a Corkon side that went through the season undefeated. The Energia AIL Player of the Year is Brian Hayes. Congratulations, Brian, a huge achievement.
I'm delighted to present the winner of the Energia Women's AIL Player of the Year Award. This player has had an outstanding season. She's kicked the most goals of anyone in the league and also made her international debut in our November series. Congratulations, Hannah O'Connor from Blackrock College.
Hi everyone, I'm delighted to be asked to announce the Energia All-Ireland League Division 1A Coach of the Year. I've been very lucky to work under this man for maybe 3 or 4 seasons. He led his team this year to 14 games undefeated, on the way leading them to the Bateman Cup final and last year's All-Ireland League champions. This year's Energia All-Ireland League Division 1A Coach of the Year is Brian Hickey from Cork Constitution. I'm delighted to be able to announce this. As I said, I've worked on him for a good few seasons. I've no doubt his influence on me personally changed the outlook on my career to date. Credible professional, obviously worked professionally with Munster for a number of seasons and was very successful in that, and to this day is as professional as he was back then. Credible appetite to learn new techniques, keep up to date with rugby. I think Conor very lucky to have him, and I was delighted to be able to announce he's Coach of the Year. Thank you.
This coach led her side on an unbeaten run through the AIL and also got them qualified for the All-Ireland Cup final, all in her first season in charge. She's a former international player, and it's great to see her giving back to the grassroots of the game. Your Energia Women's AIL Coach of the Year is Fiona Hayes from UL Bows.
I suppose from a playing point of view, we had some really big days with Clontarf, although not winning competitions, but trying to stay in it. And one of them was out in Terranure, last game of the year, and we needed to win the game. I think we needed a bonus point, but we also, our points difference wasn't great, and I think it was coming down between ourselves and Blackrock. To see who would be relegated, and Blackrock were 20 points clear going into the second half. So all the back and forth was happening. One of the Clontarf lads went to the Blackrock game to keep an eye on what was happening, and they were relaying it back to the touchline. The touchline were giving it up to us. I remember at one stage having a penalty nearly in front of the posts inside the 22, so almost a gimme, and them shouting on, no, can't kick, you need to score a try. So we tried to score a try. We didn't score a try. We got another penalty out, which was now 40 metres out and maybe 15 metres in off the touchline. And then them screaming onto the pitch, no, you got to kick that one. You got to kick that one. So it was just crazy. It was just bananas in the end. So we didn't really know what way it was going. But towards the end of the game, we did score a try in the corner to put us, what we thought at the time was a point behind them in points difference. So they said, you need to kick the conversion first to stay up. So we kicked the conversion, obviously thinking we stayed up, but in the end we stayed up by 3 points in points difference.
Hi, this is Ronan O'Gara. I'm absolutely over the moon to be involved in tonight's AIL Energia Awards. As you can tell from my voice, I don't think I've ever been more excited or giddy in my whole life. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic night, and I think it's safe to say I'm in a state of pure ecstasy at the moment. Thank you to Energia, all about positive energy, which, as you can tell, is surging out of every pore in my body at the moment. So much so that I think I'm ready to explode. Thank you, Energia. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Club Scene Award, which is being awarded to the club which has the best scene as voted for in the Club Scene podcast, and it's awarded to...
You're very welcome to the Energia All-Ireland League Awards being streamed live on YouTube. We at the Club Scene podcast have been asked to pick a winner for the Club Scene Award, which should bring into light a club that is intertwined with the community on and off the pitch. Berkey, you've a much better grasp of the English language, so if you'd like to tell us a little bit more about what the award means to you.
We're basically been asked to recognise or acknowledge one of the many, many fantastic clubs around the country that have a fantastic combination of youths, minis, social rugby, senior competitive rugby, a pathway to professionalism, a fantastic wider community, and basically enjoy themselves in the bar afterwards on a regular basis. Players that play with that club and go back there for many years to come afterwards. And we're looking to acknowledge one of the many, many clubs that there are out there, and Mass might mention a few of them now.
Yeah, so we had good discussions on who to give this award to. There was a few close candidates. Just to name a few, Bangor were one of them who we thought have really fit into this award. Barnhall another, Highfield and Middleton. So they were the four that were really in contention apart from the winner.
The conclusion of the award when we picked the club that we did is that we basically couldn't find any club or any person that had a bad word to say or a bad experience when visiting this club. They're a renowned welcoming club when travelling fans arrive there, and they travel in good numbers around the country and are very much intertwined with their community, and in our opinion very deserving of this award.
Without further ado, the winner of the very first Club Scene Award is Ballynahinch RFC.
The next award is a new and very prestigious one called the Positive Energy Award. We've introduced this award to give recognition to the team or player who've really embraced the positive energy mentality throughout the season and have gone above and beyond to increase support and showcase the true power and passion within the Energia AIL. So this year, the winner of the first ever Positive Energy Award goes to
So on Saturday, April 4th at 2:30, we are going to change the game. So ourselves and Railway Union have partnered with Setonians on the north side, and together we're going to try and get the highest attendance at a women's AIL game ever. To me, club rugby is really important. It's the most enjoyable rugby you play with your friends, and it's the foundation of where everything begins. If you want to play for your province or your country, it all starts down on that pitch Tuesdays and Thursday nights and lining out with your friends every weekend.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of Southside clubs, and Railway being probably the most well-known Southside club. So we're probably hoping to bring a bit of the north side across the Liffey and, you know, put up a good fight. So we're going to try and gather everyone as much as we can to bring it over, support us, support your north side team against the south side.
Thanks very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we head to the all-important Energia AIL Public Vote Try of the Year Award.
The votes are in, and the winning try for the women's division really displays the importance of teamwork and positioning on the pitch. Always keeping an eye on the try line, driving to get it over the line, was Alana McInerney of UL Bohemian ORFC Club in Limerick. Well done, Alana. After some tough voting from all of you back home, this next award for the men's Energia AIL Try of the Year goes to someone who showed an excellent display of being able to read the game with a great step, ability to find space and spot the gap, allowing him to take full advantage and score this epic try. So this year, men's Try of the Year goes to Kelvin Brown from Shannon. Congratulations.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on selfie mode now because that's it. That's the end of the Energia AIL Virtual Awards. I hope you had a great night. I hope you got involved, and I hope it took your mind off things as well for a little while. The main thing is I hope you stay safe. I hope you stay well. I hope you keep washing your hands and staying well away from each other, because it's by staying well away from each other that we'll keep closer to each other ultimately. I'd like to thank you for allowing me to introduce and host these awards tonight. It's been an interesting experience doing it all at home, but I've had some fantastic help, including one of the most experienced cameramen in the world, and that would of course be my 12-year-old son, Dash. Say hi, Dash.
Hi.
Ladies and gentlemen, have a great evening, enjoy yourselves, and hope to see you out on the fields around Ireland playing soon. Take care, bye bye.